it's hard for me to speak to you, just say, hey, I didn't say that again, okay? Got a lot of things up here, and I've already had the advantage of speaking to these two ladies. And we're kind of blending things, because you're over in the main ORs, correct? And then we're over here kind of in our own little world. But the goal is to reset the infection control clock, and it doesn't matter where we're at in the perioperative area. Whether it's in labor and delivery, interventional radiology, cath lab, or the main ORs, right? The goal is to reset the infection control clock. So, how we do things matters. Right now, over here in labor and delivery, we've got a cleaning kit we're operating from, correct? Now, the marriage of our applicators to our disinfectants is key. Now, when we talk about disinfection, they use terms such as log reduction, right? And Lysol talks about kills or removes 99.9% of the pathogens. Have you heard that? Mm-hmm. Does that make it disinfect, or does it make it sanitize?
Sanitize.
Very good. Something that is sanitized means it's safe to eat from. If somebody's healthy and they ingest it and it goes through their digestive system, they're going to be fine. Okay? Now, to disinfect in healthcare, we have to have a 5-log reduction. 99.999. You have to achieve that by not only an agitation or mechanical removal, but by dwell time. You have to leave chemistry behind, and it has to stay wet for a certain period for it to be effective. We all good there?
Yeah.
Now, in C. diff, if y'all ever wondered, y'all know what C. diff is? We don't have a lot of that in Mom Baby, do we?
No.
But sometimes over in your area, right?
We don't keep them over here. They're considered dirty.
C. diff requires a 6-log reduction. 99.9999. That's why you have to use bleach or sodium hypochloric acid or peracetic acid. That stuff smells like vinegar. Because C. diff is a spore, thinking like an M&M with a candy coating on it. Normal disinfectants can't penetrate that shell. And so you have to have a stronger disinfectant to get through that. And you have to look at your dwell times. In the event, whether we're in the main OR or we're over here in the labor and delivery area, use your door signage and check with the charge nurses. In the event that you have an isolation case, or what I call an MDRO, multi-drug resistant organism, you may have specific personal protective equipment requirements. And more importantly, you may have different disinfectant bundles, infection control bundles to use. And so you want to make sure you're lining yourself up and the patients up for success. So read your door signage. That's the first thing. Now, I've got Virex 256 right here in this bottle, which is what's in our closet. Now, what did I do with my strips?
Yes, right there.
Thank you. Kind of like the absent-minded professor. I've got Hydron test strips here. I want to say this. Diversity is a very, very good company, and they make great disinfectants. But you have to use them right. And any Cintas, great company, they do good laundry, but it has to be processed right, and it has to be married with the right disinfectants. So, we need 660 parts per million. There's 6, there's 8. Are we green enough? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. We got good disinfectant. Agreed?
But do we have good strips? No, I'm just kidding.
You got a trash can anywhere?
You just leave it on the
That
table.
one?
You can,
Well, I'm gonna
yeah, you
throw
can throw it in there because I have to take it down.
And I'm sorry on this film.
Huh?
and I'll be glad to come back. So, I'm going to bust this open, and what I want to kind of show you all is the relationship between what you're applying your disinfectant with and how it relays to the EVS terminal clean and the importance of the before the first case of the day, the last case of the day, or the between case, the end of the day, because you hand off your work to other team members. If you don't mind, take a towel, take a little mop, and pass it around. Now, y'all are familiar
Oh my gosh.
with these.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
We've had little towels like this, 4 of them, in our turnover kit, and I never knew what they were for.
Okay, have we got a blue towel? Have we got a blue towel?
You up here?
Yeah, bring that over if you don't mind. Got one? Now, I pulled this from the clean laundry
Here.
here. And I did not dig through this. This was handed to me by one of the team members. How clean is it?
Oh. That's disgusting.
The laundry process is a very difficult process. And it's not 100%. Okay? It's right, it's directionally correct, an overwhelming majority of the time. But sometimes you have concerns. Now, the biggest thing is how does these things impact chemistries and disinfectants? The wipe that you were talking about was in the surgery kits.
Yeah, it's in that, it's right in there. No, they're not. They're just like slippery almost, right there. I don't know if that's what they're for.
They don't have texture to them,
Okay, and I don't know what these wipes are, but we'll see.
They're almost like,
water resistant.
Yeah.
Now this is water.
It's just,
Why did it go in these and not that?
this one has a barrier.
Huh. I'm going to just let y'all think about this. I've got good disinfectant. We've seen that, right? We tested it. Good stuff. Poured it in here. This is what EVS is using at night, along with the mops. We're going to put it in our disinfectant. This is the laundered microfiber that we're using. These, you want to know why we're not supposed to use cotton? Let me show you. And this is what comes in our kits. Right? Now, while this towel is not a test strip by any means, Contec is a factory in Spartanburg, South Carolina, where we make textiles for clean rooms and hospitals. We design products for a reason. That towel still hasn't wet out. If your disinfectant's good, as you know how you got your closet over here, sometimes those things aren't always right. Wouldn't it be nice if your towel kind of told you?
Oh, wow.
That towel is a Goldilocks wipe. It likes to live in a certain stasis. If the disinfectant's too weak, it will fight the wetting process. That sends up an alert to you, anybody, something's wrong at the dispenser. If the towel wets out, it's good. Now, there's one caveat. And we've seen it in our closet in here. We've got a floral scent in that closet. I strongly recommend we get rid of it. It's almost like Fabuloso. People want to use floral scents because it smells so good. It's not a disinfectant. And if they add it to your disinfectant, it will mess up your chemistries. And you might be cleaning and not disinfecting. Now this wipe right here, I know the disinfectant was good, right? Because we tested it. Now, how many times in between a case, one of the nursing staff comes in or one of the docs comes in and say, hey, hurry up and dry that. Happens more over in the main OR, doesn't it? Hurry up and dry that because we're going to bring the next patient in. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Right? Have you got one of the towels?
No.
You don't know one of the towels? Have you got a towel? Is your towel dry?
Yeah.
Come on, dry this up. Hurry, come on. We got a patient. Hurry up. Come on. Come on. What? Katie.
Faster, Katie.
You cannot stop the disinfection process.
Yeah, it's still wet. Holy mackerel.
In healthcare, we want dwell time.
Still wet. You know, like, wowzers.
Faster, faster.
Now, when this dries, you remember how I said the floor scent, Fabuloso, somebody adds bleach, whatever? If you start playing with chemistry, when this dries, it will be cloudy and filmy. That's an indicator to us somebody interrupted the disinfection process. Now, why am I talking about all this? Yes. Somebody added Fabuloso to it.
Well, that's why. That's why when they use those white wipes, it leaves that cloudy.
Well, there's a couple other things that go on. Now, you guys, and this is all part of that choreography, because then you'll see where I'm going with this. We use these for between case cleaning. Over in the main ORs, we use Oxivir wipes, right?
The big white bucket?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are the things that leave like nasty.
Okay, but now, again, I'm going to say this. Diversity makes good chemicals.
Right.
They make them for a purpose.
Okay.
That wipe has got a 1 minute kill time. Is that a fair statement? Well, what's our kill time on our Oxivir wipe?
Oh, those are 4.
These are 4. But why do they like that other one? Because it's got a shorter dwell time.
So is that why they use a film, because that's the antibacterial properties or whatever?
Well, so it is made from accelerated hydrogen peroxide, and it's highly concentrated. It gets a very short kill time, so that way we can bring in the patients quicker. Boom, 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 and I don't have to worry about what I just saw right here. But the problem is there's a residue.
It looks dirty.
You guys do the first case of the day, right?
Yeah.
Remember, we were talking about this out in the hall. Don't skip over the importance of that before the first case of the day. It's like a pilot doing a pre-flight. Go in there and check your room. High to low, it's a damp dusting. There's no disinfection requirement, but you're checking for residues and dust. Because if EVS did their job at night, they do that wet towel right here, and wiped everything down with this and good Virex, the table will be dry and clear, and I won't have a bunch of residue left over from my pre-saturated wipes. It's all a big dance choreography, and how we hand off the rooms to them for terminal, and how they hand off the rooms to us for first day of the case matters. Am I connecting the dots for you?
Yeah, we don't use those wipes over here though.
You guys use these.
We just use the purple wipes.
These are longer.
And we don't have the
dwell time.
residue.
You don't have
Like I
those.
noticed in our labor rooms, there's that residue and I'm like,
We're on the cruise.
yeah, it looks dirty and the patients are like, is that clean? Yeah.
Dirtiest place on the bathtub is soap ring, right? That's also the first place that collects dirt. It's also the first place that you'll get a biofilm. In nursing, when I start talking about biofilms, that's a problem, right? Because it's not just dirty anymore. It has pathogenic growth. And you're looking for an outbreak. That's why EVS has to come in and do a terminal clean that rinses. So what are we looking for on our end? First case of the day, do your pre-flight. You understand why? Now, did this right here. I don't know how this is going to turn out. You got dry hands. Can you tear me off about 5 little strips of that? Let's set them over here. Now, you said about 20 years ago we used to use the blue towels and the spray bottle. They came down and said they don't recommend using cotton towels in a peri-operative service because cotton lints and it's also organic. And sometimes it plays with your disinfectants. And sometimes you're cleaning with water. Don't use those blue towels to disinfect.
Oh, that was disinfect, oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Okay?
Now, is that your previous Pyrex or ours?
That's your Virex. I got it from EVS.
Wow.
That's your towel. Doesn't work. Here's the mop. Microfiber is not cotton, it's plastic basically, but the laundry process is harsh. Microfiber does a good job of grabbing, but if it's held on to too much stuff in here, I might have a problem. I don't know. Oh.
Oh, wow.
I'm weak.
Yeah.
Nowhere near 600. I still ain't disinfected this table. Do you understand why we're mopping with something different now? Because this is what we're mopping with up in the ORs. Okay? Now there's going to be some problems with that because this mop goes a lot further. But if we ain't disinfecting, we're kind of going through the motions, right? Now, up here in the ORs, in here, if this mop is cotton, what do you think is going to happen?
It's the same thing.
You guys are scientists.
Wow.
That's also why AON says if you have gross body fluid on the floor, it's a 2-step process. Kathy just showed you. You clean it first, and then you disinfect. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, I don't think we need to get rid of these because in the labor delivery setting, with the exception of the one that we just had, there's usually a lot of fluid in here. Is that a fair statement? Even in some of our ortho cases, we get a lot of irrigation. Up in the main ORs, they don't want to put anything in a kit, so you're probably going to see this. This will be for your heavy irrigation cases up in the main OR. You guys already have what I call a grossing mop, and I would love to put our mop in that kit, but at the same time, that's easily said, not easily done. If we can help you with that, we will be glad to, but this is still a perfectly fine grossing mop. Okay?
So just to clean, not first.
Just to clean. Now, are you guys understanding the why?
Yes.
Now, they put these in your kits. This is a towel from the kit. But the test is it synthetic or is it organic? Because if it's organic,
I'm gonna say synthetic.
no.
Yes.
Why are these in the kit? Because they work.
Using the white jelly on.
Yep. Wow.
Okay? And my goal here is to get you guys to understand the why. So, now you know what the wipes are for the kit, so that way you don't grab the blue towels.
So that's the,
These are your disinfectant towels.
So we need a bottle of Pyrex.
Yes.
If you need it.
A little bit, okay.
If you don't, you guys already got these. I would actually pull these out of my kit and save money.
We have them, stuff, we store
We have
them.
them.
We use them.
Okay.
We use them, but not for that.
But anytime you put something in a kit, typically you're paying 5 times the price. You'd be better off pulling it out of the kit, and if EVS is going to use it, let them buy it out of the car. Because if it's in that kit.
We usually follow Wendy. We get basically whatever Wendy has.
Now here's the wipes and the mops. The Contec ones.
That's yours.
Yep. And it don't matter whether it's the wipe or the mop. Which strip was the greenest? Contec makes products for a reason. And we try to apply that science to where it helps you guys be successful with your outcomes, and it also helps you guys reset the infection control clock between patients and at the end of the day when you're doing your terminals.
So that one that comes in the kit, if we kept that, we would still just use that for the clean and then maybe something like what you have?
Well, I want to be careful here because I'm a vendor and I don't want to make your nurse leaders mad.
Right, no.
But what you have in that kit right now, in all honesty, if I'm being product neutral, that kit's fine. As long as you know that that mop is a grossing mop. And that if you pull it out, the whole reason you're using it is because you have got bioburden or body fluid on the floor. And you need a second disinfection step. That's where these come in. That mop right there, that's the one that's,
Can you buy
I just
those
know
other
that-
ones separately?
yes.
Yeah, but we need one of those,
EVS has got these.
yeah.
Now,
We used to mop with those.
But isn't
And
this
so we-
microfiber, isn't this gonna do the same exact thing the blue one did?
yes, if you wash it. It's
Oh, gotcha. So it's gonna give me a good green because it's not washed.
and we just gave you a good reading.
Just checking, sorry.
Okay, but you're I got you thinking, right?
Good question. Sorry.
Trying to find my,
Mhm.
everything that I'm showing you is disposable. Now, the hardware here, if you'll notice, this head is plastic, and the teeth are plastic. It's 900 times cleaner than traditional Velcro, because Velcro is kind of a fabric. It holds harbor, promotes bacterial growth. You can soak this in a disinfectant, scrub it out, and it's plastic, and it's not going to hold bacteria. It's not going to hold moisture. Now, it's also curved. Just like that towel gives you an indicator and allows you to take control of the disinfection process, this curve is going to allow you to take control of the mopping process.
Pressure you apply.
You need to come to squad room, girl.
She is pretty smart.
So, when we mop, are we supposed to mop like this?
No.
Like a sailor? You ever wondered why? Because if you don't get any mechanical pressure down, I'm looking busy, but I ain't mopping nothing. That's not no magic trick. You're pushing stuff under my equipment. You're shoving stuff, I'm going to push down, under my equipment and up against my baseboards, and you're creating debris and pathogens behind. And if you use this mop incorrectly,
You're smearing stuff around. You don't have to mop it. But I appreciate it.
now,
Oh,
But
I
you can
see,
see
you
it,
know, it's getting
still, yep. It's not wet correctly. That's how my kids.
Well, and you can see when sometimes they're not here, how they just slurp across the floor.
Yeah.
now, as you mop with this, the belly of the pad is wider than the rest. You're not mopping right, you're mopping like a sailor. If the belly of your pad's white, you're not cleaning right.
Mop like a housewife.
You want to stand up straight, proper ergonomics, don't stress your back, and mop in a figure eight. Look at my coverage.
Wow.
That's how I clean.
And now, you remember my penny or dime? I'm pulling things out from underneath my equipment, away from my baseboard, and I'm taking it out of the room.
You missed
The
it.
You missed
Missed half.
the profile of this mop is also designed to get under cords. Huh? Who's better than me?
Nobody.
But getting under those cords,
I love it.
I'm sold.
it gets better. How heavy is that?
Oh, it's not.
it's light.
Oh, that's heaven.
It's aluminum.
Yeah, it's very light.
Oh,
Downside, ladies, remember how I said this gets 99.9% mechanical removal? We made it light for a reason. Now, mop properly with it and feel the grab on the floor.
I knew Katie was gonna jump up. She likes mopping.
I love mopping.
Use your legs and your hips. Mop like you're supposed to. Sing a Romeo Santos song.
What song?
Romeo Santos.
Oh, Jesus.
You like him?
I like him.
My wife does too. I went to his concert. That was the best money I ever spent in my life. So do you feel it kind of grabbing the floor?
Yeah.
That's that
Do something that's not done.
What?
Do the part that's not done.
Oh, yeah, might as well do over here.
Well, heck. Oh, wow, yeah, it does.
You feel it grabbing?
Oh, yeah.
That's where you're picking up all the hair and the debris. Now the downside of that mop, it's only going to cover about 120 square feet. Why? Microfiber does a good job grabbing when it has the right coefficient. If it has too much liquid, you're just smearing things like butter. And you don't want to smear packaging. So when you pull it out of the bucket, it's going to be wet with about 5 ounces. You're going to do about a quarter of the room.
So you dump it in the bucket?
No double dipping. I don't like double
No, no,
dipping
no.
in
You
my
just-
nachos.
No,
Don't
you just,
double dip in my salsa.
so you
don't
just
double
drop-
dip in my bits and
that
pieces.
just gets dropped in the bucket.
Yeah,
You pull it
yes.
out,
You drop and you mop.
you just drop it,
Yep.
it's okay that it's real wet?
hmm
That's how the cards are.
Yeah.
With a bunch of the-
But now you don't want it too wet because you want to have that mechanical removal.
Right.
But now as I start mopping, this mop will cover 500 square feet. It just runs out of liquid. Get a bottle, properly label it because your infection control people will kill me if they see this bottle. I didn't do that on purpose.
Oh.
And I like to, I've got a pocket in my smock. I tuck that in, and I can use my Swiffer on steroids and complete my disinfection process.
Cause this mop doesn't
Because I
grab
haven't-
suture and it just,
Can we just use that for both?
What are the difference?
Yeah, can we just use that for both? Like for the
You
initial,
usually have to use multiple.
You can.
Well, you
But-
already have the other one.
What I have found, and we have found in our adventures, pulling the wipes and the mops out of your turnover kits saves you money, reduces waste stream, and get you a string mop. Theirs, preferably mine, but anybody's, because it really doesn't matter. You're just mopping up goo.
I just
So-
feel like it flings stuff everywhere.
So,
It comes apart.
but when you're mopping up body fluid, you're just trying to get up the bulk of the gross material, because it's a two-step process. But to your point, this case right here that we just had today, I didn't need that string mop. I could have did this.
The camel mat has really not.
the camel mat has helped us a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe take a look at where we're spending our money
Yeah.
and redirect that. Because buying string mops and these out of cart probably gonna save you a lot of money on those kids and kind of move that money in your budget over. But when you take this off, I like to put my thumb here, and you can either rip it and throw everything on the floor, or you can rip it, throw everything in your face, or you can go half, and down, and you got a nice little dirt burrito.
Nice.
There you go. Now,
Work smarter, not harder.
Some of the things we talked about was the importance of first case of the day. I want to touch on, we talked about the handoff, how we're handing rooms off to EVS. You should always do any room like there's going to be another case in it. And over in the main ORs, we're kind of bad about this. We kind of drop the mic. It's last case of the day, EVS is coming.
But then
Just a little try.
I always say
We're
clean,
EVS,
clean
so
like your family
Yeah.
members coming into this OR.
I'm telling you, I was the operations manager at a 550 bed hospital that had a train accident. 17 kids hit our OR room in about 1 hour period. And it was at the end of the day, and we weren't ready. Because because we left our rooms last case of the day, we was in scramble mode. And that time cost us. So there's a reason why they have those things in place. You should always, even though it's the last case of the day, clean it like you're going to bring another patient in. That way when EVS comes in to do the terminal clean, they shouldn't have to deal with gross blood. A blood splatter, a little bit, that's one thing. But nastiness, trash, leftover instruments, that shouldn't be in the room. Make sense? So, what I want to talk about now is what you do during the between case process. Over 40% of the items, I just took a surgical tech class, 40% of the items in the OR room is missed during between case cleaning. 40%. Why? Down here, you guys, how many people are cleaning your rooms in here?
Me.
I bet you guys have got good numbers because they found during that study, the less amount of people doing the cleaning process, the better your outcomes. In main ORs, this is not just our main ORs, but you know main ORs in general, everybody's in there, I'm helping. And you may have 4 or 5 people in that cleaning process.
And then you're like, oh, did you get that? Oh yeah, I got that, yeah.
I thought Katie got the lights. Katie thought Kathy got the lights. Kathy knew me and Katie didn't get the lights, but she's mad at both of us because I ate her tacos out of the refrigerator yesterday. And she ain't telling nobody nothing. And in the meantime, the light didn't get done. Talk to one another during that process. And as nurse leaders, work on getting some of our non-cleaning clinical people out of that cleaning process. Clear the room. Your turn time's a small window over in the main wars. Clear the room. Let the team that's truly doing it, resetting the infection control clock, do that process, and then go restock. Don't restock while they're cleaning.
Same person's doing the cleaning and stocking here. Yes.
You are.
Yep.
Tag your it and tag back.
Yep.
So, a couple other pointers. When we clean high to low, cleanest to dirtiest. Do we all know what that means?
Perimeter's good.
So you do perimeter bed. Good enough. But now in the high to low, I see a lot of people with wipes, particularly these in between case. Lids open, wipes down in it. I gotta stick my hand down in here. Right? The wipes are, these are the 6x12s. Now these are the 6x6. Pretty small wipe. So what do? We pull out 8 of them, right? And now I gotta tell you, watch your tails. Tails drag on the floor. Okay? Watch your tails. This is another reason why when clinical uses pre-saturated wipes, lids are open, evaporation occurs. Again, you're directionally correct. An overwhelming majority of the time, this product is still good, but sometimes it got a little weak. It's important for the EVS to come in, use a chemistry that works on a towel that tells me my disinfectant's good. Now I know EVS covered my back if my wipes were too weak during the day. It's all about validating processes and how we hand off our rooms. Okay? High to low, cleanest, dirtiest. So, typically, anything below this shelf is considered low. If you've got a light and you come down here If you bend your knees, you hear mine crack, I can't come up with that wipe. I have to throw it away. Now, can I take a wipe and process the top of this table, the top of these hampers, then go down low, do my wheels and casters, do my wheels and casters, do my wheels and casters with one wipe? Yeah. I went high to low.
Okay.
But I can't come over here and do this and then come up and do this.
Okay.
Now, there's other things that are truly nasty. When you wash yourself, cleanest to dirtiest, do you start from your derriere and then go this way and finish here? Dirtiest to cleanest? Don't do that in my operating rooms. If you touch that sharp skin or the kick plates or those stools, that's like touching your derriere. That towel is off limits. Now, can I do my face and then my stool? Yeah. I can go high to low, cleanest to dirtiest, but do not invert that process. Questions? Any thoughts on my education meeting?
Don't have them.
Are you good? You understand where we're going and why we're doing it up there? Thank you all.